Hello everyone, in today's episode, we will take a look at another 6 important commands you should know that will enhance your experience when you use the Linux operating system. We will explain the following commands: less, let, ln, look, man, and Mkdir, all from within the terminal, going through different usage examples in context, helping you understand the power of Linux terminal when combining and chaining various built-in commands. So to explain a bit more of all these commands, we will give a wider definition of each one before we begin. Less command. Less is a terminal pager program on Unix, Windows, and Unix-like systems used to view the context of a text file one screen at a time. It is similar to more, but has the extended capability of allowing both forward and backward navigation through the file. Let command. On Unix-like operating system, let is a built-in command of the bash shell that evaluates arithmetic expressions. Like all simple commands, let has its own environment. Variables used in expressions have scope local to the command. So for instance, an argument to let is not aware of other shell variables unless they are exported. Very useful when coding. ln command. A symbolic link, also known as a symlink or soft link, is a special type of file that points to another file or directory. There are two types of links in Linux systems. Hard links. You can think a hard link as an additional name for an existing file. Hard links are associating two or more file names with the same inode. You can create one or more hard links for a single file. Hard links cannot be created for directories and files on a different file system or partition. Soft links. A soft link is something like a shortcut in Windows. It is an indirect pointer to a file or directory, unlike hard links. A symbolic link can point to a file or directory on a different file system or partition. So ln is a command line utility for creating links between files and folders. Look command. Although the Linux find command does a fabulous job for searching on the command line, there may be situations where a dedicated tool may be more convenient. One such case is to find lines in a file that start with a particular word. There exists a command dubbed look that does this for you. So the look command in Linux displays lines beginning with a given string. Man command. Man is the system's manual pager. Each page argument given to man is normally the name of a program, utility, or function. The manual page associated with each of these arguments is then found and displayed. A section, if provided, will direct man to look only in that section of the manual. The default action is to search in all of the available sections following a predefined order and to show only the first page found, even if page exists in several sections. Mkdir. The Mkdir command creates one or more new directories specified by the directory parameter. Each new directory contains the standard entry dot and dot dot and goes like this for each subdirectory created. You can specify the permissions for the new directories with the -m mode flag. You can also use the umask subroutine to set the default mode for the Mkdir command. So the first thing we'll look at is less, view the contents of a text file one screen at a time. The second thing we'll look at is let, evaluate arithmetic expressions on shell variables. The third thing we'll look at is ln, create hard and soft symbolic links pointing to files. The fourth thing we'll look at is look, shows the line beginning with a given string. The fifth thing we'll look at is man, display the user manual of any command that we can run. And the sixth thing we'll look at is Mkdir, allows user to create or make new directories. So let's jump in. So as you can see, we're going to type less and then give it the help in order to show us some of the parameters that we can use. So make sure to check this in order to maximize the way you're going to use it. So we're going to look for a file called nmapscan.txt and we're going to run the command less on that specific file containing things. As you can see, it has displayed the first page and then you can continue to watch until the end. So this helps you browse through page by page looking at the content. You can also combine it with different variations in order to highlight certain things from within the text. So for example, if you give it the -N, you will see that it's gonna put the numbers for each line. This will help you highlight which specific line you're looking for. So it can be also customizable with different parameters in order to manipulate certain things that you want from the result. In this example, we're gonna cat out the results of the content. Then we're gonna pipe and use less, looking only for the word open. As you notice, it's gonna highlight in yellow all of the recursive content of the word open helping you look inside the document for the specific word you're looking for. You can also use less from a context, for example if you're looking at the running processes page by page. In this example we're going to use ifconfig and then we're going to give it the less -p eth0, which will highlight the specific LAN card that we're using. So as you can see, you can use it in different ways in order to extract information. Now we're going to look at the command let. As you notice, if you don't give it any arguments, it's not going to work. We're going to give it different variable arguments. For example, we're going to define var equals to 3, and then we're going to define var1 equals to 1 by giving it value, as you can see, all on one line. And then we're going to follow by another variable, which will be variable 2. It will be equal to variable 1, and then it's going to be added to the next variable. So it should be giving us the total. Then what we will do is we're going to echo specifically the variable 2, which will contain the specific var1 plus var, giving us the total, as you can see from here, number 4. So it lets you do arithmetic things on one lines from within the terminal. This is very useful, especially when you're coding numbers and you're adding values. So in this example, we're going to give it variable, and then we're going to give 6 followed by times 2. Then we're going to display the output of the total variable. You notice it's going to calculate the specific function that we added and giving us the total. This is very useful, especially when you're coding and you want to add different variables and values to manipulate the results and store them, helping you expedite the way you use coding from within the terminal. So the next command is ln, and as you notice, you can type ln help in order to check all of the parameters and explaining how you can use it. So we have a text called test.txt. We're going to use ln-s, and then we're going to give it a specific directory followed by the capital test, the name. It has created this symlink. So now you can see that we have created test under the specific directory. So we're going to create another directory called link file in order to create the link between the file and the directory. As you notice, we have created successfully this folder. And now we're going to edit an example file and give it some values, just so you can see that we can save the values inside. So the purpose now is to create a symlink from this file in that directory. So ln example.txt will point to the specific folder link file under the link_example.txt. What this is going to do, it will create the same symlink content as you can see from listing the directory, and this has successfully created the link file. You can notice when we go inside and display the ls to the link_example.txt. To confirm this, we're going to give it a command ls-ltr, and then we're going to give it the symlink that we have created, and this should show us exactly the way the link has been performed, so you can see how it's pointing. So moving on, we're going to continue showing you some of the commands that you can see. So in a quick note local, you can see it gives you the content of the specific localizations. So now we're going to move to look, and then we're going to give it the help. As you can see, there are various options you can use using the command look. So in order to give it an example, we're going to look for H, and it will give us the dictionary of all of the words that exist starting with H. This is very useful, and you can also save these results in a specific way by giving the specific symbol and then the name of the dictionary.txt in order to copy the values from the specific string that we gave it, which was the H sign. So this has saved the results, and if you get the result and pipe it with WC in order to create a word count, you can notice that it has saved 3097 words from the specific example that we did. And now you can use less in order to check with -n how many numbers there are, numbering each one specifically. So moving to the man, which is the manual, we have given man nmap in order to show us the manual for nmap. This is going to help us understand the usage, contains very useful information educating you on how to use a specific program. So if the developer has added it, it's going to help you understand the contents of it. So Mkdir is going to create folders, and we're going to see various tests. So we have created Mkdir test. As you notice, it has created the folder test, and now we're going to use it with various mode examples, which will give us the way to specify the way you want the writes created before the folder is created. So when you set the R, this means that you want it to be readable. If you give it a W, it means you want it to be writable, and if you give it an X, it can execute. So we will perform different examples that you can see from here. giving the RW, which is read and write. This is going to create a folder that is readable and writable at the same time. You can confirm this by providing the ls-l in order to display the writes, as you can see on the left side. So you can create other examples. As we can see from here, we're going to create a readable, and then you can ls-l and check the difference of each folder that we are creating, giving it a specific rights. This is useful when you want to assign rights to specific files or folders before you create them. So giving the -m is going to give you the ability to choose the mode before you create the specific folder. So in this example, giving X only is going to let the folder be executed or the file be executed depending on what you're creating. And there is also another way to provide a mode which gives full access, which is giving the number 777, which will give full access on a specific file that you are creating. So this is very useful, especially when you combine the mode and assign the specific rights. So thank you for watching, and as always, until next time.